what were the things about season 1 that you sort of wanted to launch and that were like the selling points of being better at it in season 2?
I loved, once we introduced John Noble's character, I thought Henry as this mastermind was really fun, and I wanted to do a lot more with that in season 2. So we have him, he's in every one of the first 11 episodes, and just so much fun, and really getting to have a character who thinks so far ahead and is so brilliant is a lot of fun to kind of craft and weave into our story. For Crane and Abby, I wanted them to get a little bit more ahead of the game. I felt like season 1 was so much about just catching up to this incredibly crazy world they find themselves in, that for them to try to get a handle on it and understand it and embrace it, I think is a lot of fun for season 2. So as crazy as it is or became in season 1, it gets crazier, and they try to get a jump on that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it will take to convince your character that all this supernatural stuff is going on?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. It's interesting. I think that the only point of vulnerability that you see with Sheriff Reyes is the fact that she has a connection to the kids. And there's something that happens to you when you actually encounter vulnerable children. And they stay with you. And I feel like all these characters, the questions of who the parent is, who's the mother, who's the father, who's the guardian, who takes care of. I think Lena thinks she's taking care of this community, and she takes care of the girls. So I would imagine if there is a point of entry, it would be with Abby. But I feel as if I have strong feelings of wanting to care for both the girls, for sure. And just on that John Noble thing, I have to say, having done scenes with Kevin Spacey, I thought, oh, I'll never get this again. And then John Noble, I'm in a scene with John Noble, and that much sort of not Machiavellian thought, and so smart, and the way he handles language. I was like, oh my God, am I happy to be on this show? He's just too much.
What was it like for you to come into the already established world of Sleepy Hollow and to bring that new breath of life into the second season?
Well, as I said, I was surprised to be the Resident Evil. I didn't expect that I was going to be this huge, party pooper, but that was a little bit of a shock, because I read it and I thought, oh my God, yeah, I'm so excited to be here. They're going to respect me, and it's like, oh no, not really. I like playing these very ballsy women who have the courage of their own convictions and believe that they're doing the right thing. And if you look at a situation where you got this girl with the guns and this guy with the uniform, and it's all chaos, and I need to put an end to that. But just on a personal note, people were really sweet. It's a really loving set. The cast and crew work so incredibly hard. I look at Nikki and Tom, and the weight that they're carrying. They're just, you guys get to see all the fun, but they're working their tails off, and I have such respect for their acting, but also the fact that they're carrying a tremendous load. So, and I love the writers. I didn't think that I would find a show where it's just so smart, and I think we all want really smart material. And so we have the humor and the horror, but also it's so psychologically grounded. So you're not in Netherland, you're actually completely grounded, and these characters as manifestations of a psychological moment in the lives of these characters come to life, animated. Pretty genius.
Fans' response to Reyes has been sort of mixed. There's some great parts about her, some scary parts about her.
As I think was intended.
Okay.
Yeah. Ask him.
Yeah.
I want to know.
What do you want fans to know about her going forward? If there's something that, in terms of how they feel about her.
You know what? I just want them to believe that she has as much, not reason for being, but I think she thinks she's doing the right thing. And when you see her come up against these characters, of course you're going to feel for your beloved your hero. But I think everybody is on a mission, and she's on a mission that has merit. Let's just say that. I don't know. What do you think? What? Tell me, Mark.
Yes. Save for the demons. She's absolutely right about everything. If it weren't for the apocalypse, and but I believe that, and I think that introducing her as somebody who's not in that world also gives us an access for the audiences who, she's someone who can come into the show and say, this world is insane. Mm-hmm. And I believe that. And everything that I'm seeing, I think there's a justification for. And her interaction, the fact that she knew Abby and Jenny's mother, is going to factor into the rest of the season, and I think make an interesting bond there that even cuts against her grain as a soldier and warrior in this war against evil. I think there's a really fun arc that she's going to go through over this season, and I'm excited to let you see that.
They're great. All of them are great characters, and you have no idea 1 week from the next what your character is going to be doing.
You're part of a show that has a very strong female presence, which is nice to see. How does that equate to you? How does it feel to be one of the few women that really have such a presence on the show, where it's usually male-led? Yes,
well, it was nice actually for me to come in immediately at a point of authority, rather than have to win it over or prove myself. In fact, everybody has to prove it to me what their worth is, and that's pretty much a luxury. I mean, I kind of walk with a stick up my ass, but I think that's like, I don't mind.
But you have
what I love is, Nikki and I combined, we're probably not much more than 10 feet, but don't trifle with us, which I like. Thank you for making short women powerful.
I believe it. She comes in and you as an actor have such authority that it's I think it's exciting. It's very organic to the world of the show. We weren't trying to make a point of, oh look, another powerful woman. It's just in the world, here's another person, a character who's very powerful and authoritative and commands that kind of presence and happens to be a woman.
And is on a mission, like every single person in the show is on a mission. And the thing I keep on talking about, that I find so interesting, is this idea that every character has suffered loss and how they carry that burden. And in the history that I was given of Lina Reyes, there's some loss in her life too, and we all carry it differently, and it's sort of a reflection of a lot of interesting things that I think have played out in the season too.
And we're going to get to know more about that as the season plays out.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
One of the things that the show has been praised for has been its diverse casting. Did you guys expect to have that kind of reputation, and did you intend for that to happen?
It's funny. Again, we never set out like, we're part of the mission of the show is to create a diverse cast. Let's cast the most interesting characters. Let's cast the most interesting actors that we can find.
I was so hoping he was going to say that.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I was lucky when I saw House of Cards. That's where I really became, most recently familiar with your work, and I was like, that's who we want for this role, and we went after her. And we've done that with Orlando, Nicole, Lindy. They're just phenomenal actors and talents, and that's what we've looked for in casting the show. We do want it to look like America. I think part of the fun of getting this character Ichabod Crane, who's from 1776 in the Revolutionary War, is showing him what America looks like today.
I mean, look at the table. Sorry, but this is it.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Sleepy Hollow. Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, who are we gonna date?
Yes.
Joking about the speed dating. I'm not. I would love to.
Okay, Dibs.
Movie, last question. Any more horsemen of the apocalypse this season?
Good question. Well, 2's a lot. So I feel like let's explore them for a while. We are ramping towards an apocalypse, and so the Bible at least says there are going to be 4. I think that I hope that if the show does one thing, it surprises. So I wouldn't have any expectations. Just let it come. But I hope that we'll surprise you with the way this apocalypse plays out.
I really did not see Henry being war.
I mean, that was the most genius thing ever.
How did that
Awesome.
play into your head when you decided that Henry was going to be?
We came up with that fairly early.
You did? I was wondering about that.
One of the things, and like for this season too, we know how it's going to end, and we knew before we started the season. So getting to plan that really helped us lay in these Easter eggs throughout the season. And it was hidden well, in fact, that Henry is so much older, and we worked hard to hide the fact that he could be his son. Particularly,
did you tell the actors? Did they? John knew, but did the other 2 know?
Yeah, we told them about halfway through.
Okay.
So, This season we have another surprise coming at our mid-season finale in December, which I hope will be as suspenseful and play out as interesting as that.
It
one
plays
in
out, but then
season
of
one.
course what's amazing is that when you look back, you're like, oh, right, that. I love it.
I had a feeling with the Gollum.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all the time.
That was the trickiest episode.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
guys so much.
Thank you so much. This is